We got Donald Trump threatening China once again with a 100% tariff, which led to Bitcoin dropping, crypto dropping, flash crash. Very timely, huh? But it wasn't it. Stocks plummeted. It closed the markets on Friday. That's not good. But all in all, this past week when it comes to gold and silver has done wonderful. So all in all, it wasn't a bad week, to say the least. Let's talk about this. All right, so I want to take a minute, share my 2 cents. And so couldn't end the week without just checking in and basically just sharing my 2 cents as well on what's happening and how none of this is accidental. Everything is intentional. And more importantly, what better way to distract the masses from the historical move happening in gold and silver other than to cause some type of rhetoric to make the markets respond unfavorably, while also, according to what I'm seeing here, a lot of people knew it was coming and benefited substantially from it. But that's the world we live in. And so I want to take a minute, share my 2 cents, and just look at some market activity. And so as a result of the dip, I had to, step in and acquire a few projects as well, just because it's too hard to pass up, even though I missed the actual flash crash because I didn't set any buy orders anticipating, because I must admit, I didn't anticipate no type of digital asset correction of this magnitude. But then again, that just goes to show how literally it was planned. Because if you look at it from another standpoint, is you have all this hype, all this hopium, everybody and their mother buying, every treasury company taking a position. You got Michael Saylor buying every weekend or so, and all this activity. But Bitcoin is still hovering around $120,000. How is that possible? Apart from the fact that the entry points, the gateways in and out of crypto, which is primarily the exchanges, have basically single-handedly cornered the ability to be able to set the price for cryptos. And of course, we're witnessing gold and silver this past week with the LBMA and the Crimex losing control of the paper game while Shanghai is steadily driving things forward in reference to physical. So it's very interesting. But I wanted to jump right into what got me the most excited. And that was, of course, gold and silver. So gold and silver this week, man. Oh, man, it was hard to not talk about it because of the type of historical movement we're seeing. And so here we go. Close the week out. $50 silver, $4,000 gold, both all-time high territory, which to me is a true sign as to what's really going on and why it was so important for the orchestrators of this experiment we're having to definitely step in to lead people into the weekend thinking about something else. Because once again, despite what's happening over the next 48 hours, when Monday markets open here in the U.S., we're going to see if it's going to be a continuation or perhaps, like always, as I've mentioned this before, because literally all it takes is a tweet or a post by Donald Trump in a negative sense, and the markets can crash. But all it takes is, in the reverse of that, is Donald Trump to come out with something favorable, saying something that's, embellish on something, and the markets will go right back up. But you better believe, as always, the World Liberty Financial knew it was coming. That's Eric and Donald Jr. and Barron and the staff. They knew this crypto plunge was coming, and I guarantee you they bought the dip. And so once again, it's hard for me not to see how people don't see how all of this is literally controlled. This is a controlled rigged system all along. And gold and silver, which is true, tried and tested from a historical standpoint, should be the first and foremost of anyone's investment strategy. On top of that, just an overall sentiment where if you're sharing information, make sure you tell people about gold and silver. Because just like today, on the phone with a family member, someone who know where I'm at as far as monetary literacy and everything like that, I mentioned to him, like, man, what a week, huh? He's like, what you mean? I'm like, silver, all-time high. I was like, what you talking about? I'm like, $51 yesterday. He's like, oh man, Mike, I didn't know. Oh, last time I looked at it, was $30. Man, I meant to buy. I'm like, brother, come on now. But anyway, okay, so I don't want to go down my rabbit hole, but my point is, everybody has family members, friends that are in the same boat. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, had I not known. But once again, everything is ticking up faster. All the things that people should be concerned about are present. Government shutdown, political disarray, boots in the street with the National Guard, gold and silver all-time high, debt market still an issue, United States government buying Argentine pesos, which is a trash currency. And I can probably go on and on. Article came out this week. IMF is talking about concern with the banks. Yeah, I think it's the World Bank or IMF, either one of those two, are concerned about the banks because there's $7.6 trillion of potential risk when it comes to some of the activity as far as products that these banks have created that are not performing. Who's going to take that brunt? Who's going to take that load? The government. And you better believe they're going to step up to the plate and they're going to make it rain like we never could have imagined. But we knew that coming. So, yeah, okay. So let me just get into some things that caught my attention. And let's just jump right into the primary article, which pretty much appears to have got this started. So, literally, I was watching this in real time, wasn't watching the markets when I stepped away. And that's when a flash crash happened. But it says Trump threatens tech export limits. It says next, the new 100% tariff on Chinese imports starts November 1st or sooner. So just that alone was enough to cause a lot of concern. And you better believe they knew, they meaning whoever whispered in Donald Trump's ear, that this is what they wanted or what was needed to, I guess, calm some of the excitement for the metals. I believe this was a deliberate attack to distract people from the metals activity this week, and then to also cause a market dip so that those who were a part of this could get in and buy, so that Donald Trump's next tweet or post come Saturday, Sunday, he's going to say something like, after speaking with Xi Jinping and his counterparts, he has decided to come to the table. So we're going to dial back on those tariffs. And next thing you know, market's gone. And so everybody who got in, including the Trump family, just will have gotten that much richer. So as you can see, this is how it goes. But let me give you just the nuts and bolts for those who may not pay attention. Then I'll get into some activity on X because that's where I see the most opinion. And of course, the maxis come out, in defense of I'm staying in the long run. I'm not budging. They're not going to drive me out. Once again, like I always say, Bitcoin has to succeed in order for this reset to be accomplished. So hold your horses. Bitcoin is not going nowhere until they're ready for it to. Trust me on that. So President Trump on Friday threatened to place an additional 100% tax on Chinese imports starting on November 1st, potentially escalating tariff rates close to levels that were in April. So once again, what happened to all the tariffs from Liberation Day that was put out there in April? Bit by bit, within a 2 or 3 week time frame, or I think it was a month or so, he gave him till June to come up with something. Then he dialed off, and then it was like July he dialed off. And so these deadlines come up. China's not budging. China is not budging. They are hard pressed to continue working towards the multipolar world order, to where the U.S. is the one that's in need of the unipolar world order to remain, or lose dollar hegemony status, aka the petrodollar system. Okay, so let me just give you a little bit of this and then we'll get into it, because I'm interested more in the comments that people put out there in the social media sphere to provide a narrative. The president expressed frustration with the new export controls placed on rare earth elements by China. So literally, this is looking as if it's a retaliatory response from China. What do I mean? Let me see if I can find it. There was a post. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. There was a post. I probably can't find it, but I'll give you the nuts and bolts of it. There was a post that came out of China in reference to their desire, China's desire to clamp down even more on rare earths. And so literally they put more of a bottleneck on rare earths being allowed to second or third parties, i.e. whatever comes out of China, they have to approve of it after the manufacturing process and to where that good is being sent. So if you take any type of gallium, lithium, uranium, whatever inium there is to formulate a project, a gadget, a phone, a solar panel, whatever, that product there, if it's made in the Asian region and you got the metals from China, they need to know where they're going. Meaning that if it's going to US, if it's going to Vietnam, if it's going to Africa, they need to know, because depending on where it go, they will put an additional tax on that. And so you got the regular tax between China and the tariffs rather, is, it was 10%, now it's 100%, and China was 40%. And so now you got that 100% now, 40% from China to the US. So that's 60. I'm just throwing out some ballpark figures as far as these tariffs, but you got 100 now, and you got maybe 20 or 30 from coming from China. So that 80 difference gap is just the main story. But then you have the additional rare earth mineral position that China just put on. So that is what Donald Trump is responding to. And so What an interesting way to bring that into the equation to sand the market. It says Trump later told reporters that he had not canceled his meeting, but I do not know that we're going to have it. He said during an Oval Office appearance on another subject. He says, I'm going to be there regardless, so I would assume we might have it. So once again, here you are responding to a situation that was imposed by China on goods that come from their country, that come from the earth that they dig out of and their allies. And you're going to respond by putting a 100% tax back on them because you don't like what they're doing with their goods. And it's all because literally, as of now, they still accept this, but they're accepting this less and less to the point where they want something else than this. And once again, it's in the U.S.'s best interest to make sure they continue to play the bad guy, push in, apply pressure, because if they don't, if the U.S. was to just give up, if Donald Trump was to just mind his own business, change his entire foreign policy stance on everything, just focus on America, we will be isolated from the rest of the world because the rest of the world, every other nation around us, in particular the ones that are excited about the BRICS, want nothing to do with the U.S. So we literally will be up a creek with no paddle, metaphorically speaking and literally, because the world can isolate us easily because we don't produce nothing of value that the world is actually able to benefit from. But then again, everything they produce come to us and we send them paper. So you let me know where is the fairness in that. But then again, I'm an American, I'm here. I've been blessed to be able to use this thing. It's provided a comfortable lifestyle for everybody in America and everybody whose lifestyle is based upon dollars. But everything good comes to an end. Just remember that. Okay. So let me just get to a couple other things here because I can be on and on and on, but I'm not. So here's just some of the speculation about Donald Trump's response to the China situation and how it's impacted the markets on a Friday. Because you have stuff like this. This is a post from Vivian Sin on X. And so this is what he said. Someone, this was 2 hours ago, just opened a Bitcoin short 30 minutes before Trump's tariff announcement and just closed, with the $88 million profit. He opened his account today, according to Vivian Sin. And he, just to give you an idea as to who he is, let me get myself together here. He is an influencer with 216,000 subscribers, Bitcoin magazine journalist. But the point is, whoever this person is that took out that position obviously knew something was coming to the point where they open up their account today. So imagine being $88 million richer. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. The next one here from Zero Hedge, it says, and the market always falls for it. So once again, talking about the Trump narrative. Whenever he tweets something that is big, bad, and bold and courageous from his position, but to the world is considered a threat, we have these same type of things. So literally, here's just a look at the market. So this is, what is this? Let me zoom in here. Let me see if I can get myself together here. Okay, so this is the NASDAQ. This is the NASDAQ. So literally, going back to, let me bring my screen up here. Going back to this particular time frame here, which is probably back in March, April, when he announced what he announced. And then we have all throughout this time frame here. And then literally just today, he announced 100% tariffs. Everything sells off, calms down. And then, no, forgive me. So let me see. I think this is all within one day. Okay, so going back to hostile China tariffs, massive tariffs. Okay, so this is probably the announcement that I saw this morning. Early this morning, China announced, I think this is this top part, hostile China, massive tariffs in reference to rare earths. Throughout the day, bam, markets coming down. Then Donald Trump announced tariffs, bam. And then Donald Trump responds to his tweet by literally saying right here, this is what he said. But we haven't canceled the meeting yet. And with that small little post or narrative, everything just came back up. So that dip, somebody positioned themselves, a lot of people positioned themselves who knew it was coming, benefited substantially from this activity. And that just goes to show the power of words when it comes to markets that are heavily dependent upon narratives and psychology, not fundamentals, not anything sound, true, and tested. This is all one man's mouth. This is the world we live in, people. As if you didn't know that. Okay, but let me give you some more because it doesn't stop there. Let me give you some more. So I got a couple other posts here that I think is worth bringing to your attention, just because everything is intentional, nothing is accidental. That's my whole point. And so literally as a result of Trump's response to the rare earth situation, his tweet transferred 1.65 trillion out of the hands of investors into those that were shorting the market. Those who were on the other side of this trade knew what was going on. So all that wealth siphoned to the hands of those who knew what was coming. This is the markets. And then somebody said crypto, get my screen together here. Crypto is a rigged casino, and today's events prove it beyond doubt. A single colossal BTC whale shorted at the peak, then just minutes before the market started crashing, piled on millions more in shorts. And it says at the very bottom of the drop, he closed 90% of his Bitcoin short and completely exited his Ethereum short, pocketing roughly 190 to 200 million in a single day. Imagine that payday. 190 to 200 million in a single day. That's the only instance we can trace, but speculation is rampant that the scale was far larger and extended across other exchanges. Don't be naive. This wasn't luck. Someone was either manipulating the markets or front running it. Either way, the collapse was engineered, and investors have every reason to be alarmed. And so once again, market dip, things cool off, and people who are heavily dependent upon the crypto space in particular and basing their entire future upon the digital asset space primarily. That's what it looks like. A lot of those people there were crypto people who got blindsided, and it messes up their narrative of always go up. It goes up until somebody coordinated an attack against it when it comes down. But once again, opportunity is out there everywhere, despite all the information that we're getting. And so here's the top 100. And as you can see here, lots of red. So for the most part, and this is how I looked at it, it's more so pick what you like, pick what you believe in, because more than likely it's going down. And so of course you got the big boys. You got to always look at the big boys. And so the big boys are the top ones, but those are the ones that are heavies. Those are the heavy hitters. Therefore, not much upside there as far as being able to, 2, 10, 20, 30, 100x your proceeds. So Bitcoin, Ethereum are the big boys. XRP took a little dip. Doge, Cardano. So I just took some positions and I got some more Doge. I got some, I bought some Hedera. I got some, what else we get else here? What else I got here? What else I got here? I got some, couple other things. I got some Algorand. Yeah. And so a lot of other things on here I keep my eye on. But once again, early weekend and we're still in the red. Things are down, nowhere near as far as they were down. So that's why I'm not, FOMOing in, because once again, unless you already had a position and capitalized when it hit rock bottom, everything else is coming back up. So there's no real gains to be had other than just furthering your position and whatever things that excite you or things that you believe in. So once again, this is just some things that's happening, man. This is what's happening. Opportunities everywhere. Manipulation will not stop. But then again, it was a wonderful week for those who have insured themselves against government malfeasance in true weight, true tangible weight. And as always, for those who are plugged in, if you're still here watching this deep, you're obviously enjoying the content, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, show your boy some love, because the best way to get the information out here of a contrarian viewpoint that don't hold no punches is to have people join you. So once again, consider joining, subscribe, like, take this share so people get blessed. And also, I don't want to leave you empty-handed. I want to also point you in the direction where you can get physical things yourself. So on the screen here, as you can see here, we have the gold back. So once again, 24 karat gold backs, all weight sizes. And actually this heavy boy is very noticeable compared to this light boy. So a 50 versus a 1, several $100s, and it's only going to go higher because the monetary manipulators will do more of what they do. They will print and literally destroy our currency. So if you're interested, go to buygoldnotes.com. Links in the description. Check it out. And then also want to continue to remind people the importance of taking physical possession in the form of gold bars, mini gold bars, 24 karat, 1 grain gold bars. Go to minigoldbars.com, links in the description, and you can get yourself going there. And more importantly, if you have not, you should be involved in silver directly, having your own silver distribution network. And so, in order to do that, Quicksilver Wealth Accelerated program is great. Join the community, dollar cost yourself, weight wise, every month delivered to you. Take your link, share with other people so you can be in on this wealth transfer directly because you're a distributor. You got inventory. They got it for you. You just got to connect them. You be the connector between the people and the weight, and you'll be rewarded for it. So if you're interested, mysilverteam.com, links in the description. Other than that, just checking in. Yeah, having fun. Be blessed. Be safe. Have a great weekend.